Hi, I'm Joe Theismann, world champion quarterback and entrepreneur. And I have the pleasure to be sitting with Dan Cricks today. And Dan, you were in the auto repair business for many years, from what I gathered.
Yes.
And now you basically go out and help people in the repair business take care of themselves and fix their lives. First of all, how did you go from auto repairs into motivational speaking and helping people fix basically what they're working on?
Actually, Joe, it was by accident. Like you said, I was in the business for a number of years, and I struggled with it like about 98% of the other repair shop owners do. And then finally, I figured it out, and I cracked the code, and I learned what it really takes to make money in that business. And here's the thing, so many of those people are really good, quality, hardworking people. You know, fortunately, there's a few bad apples like in any industry. Most of them are great people. They just don't know how to make real money in that business.
It's not a business that comes to mind right away, where you might say, you know, they can really use somebody to help them get motivated. They can help somebody train them. Do you find resistance as you try and offer help in the business?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing. Most of them are hardworking, salt of the earth people, and they feel like they should be able to figure this out on their own. That's the resistance. I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
And they never learned it. They just never learned those aspects. They know how to fix cars really well. They know how to work with people really well. They don't know the business side of it.
Is the business side more difficult there, you think, than other places? Because of the commitment of the individual to the shop that doesn't want to pay attention to the details that maybe they need to be successful.
That's exactly right. That's what makes it difficult, is they have to be so strong technically that they have a tendency to let the business side go, okay? And they spend all their time being really good with vehicles being as complicated as they are at that side of it. And the business side takes a back seat, and that's where they get hurt financially.
How long did it take you to crack the code?
Actually, it probably took me about 12 to 15 months before I had it down. And
really?
To be honest with you, I didn't realize I'd cracked the code. Other people started telling me. I was making a lot of money, more money than I had, and other people were coming to me saying, wow, your business is doing very, very well during a tough economic times where many others aren't. What are you doing? And that got me to sit back and go, oh, I am doing some things. And that's how I figured out I cracked the code.
So now do you go shop to shop? Is that how you do it? How would you go about helping someone figure out how to be as successful as you have been in the auto repair business?
Actually, Joe, I do it several ways. I speak to groups and association, repair shop associations around the country. I host live events of my own, 3-day boot camps, if you will, and bring them in and spend 3 days training them. And then I also do it via telephone and online.
So you have all these multiple different areas to be able to reach out and contact people. We talk about the resistance of it because I would imagine it's not a young person's profession, or is it? Is it a more stated, 45 to 65, 70-year-old profession?
Well, most of the people in the business are in that 45 and up range. They've been there for a while. We're not seeing a lot of newer people come into the industry, okay? Or the younger ones are all intent on doing the technical side. Then they start figuring out, I have to make money doing this, and their family informs them of that.
It's a great challenge to be able to combine, the wisdom of time with the economic security of being able to go forward. Why did you all of a sudden try and figure out that you had to find a way to be able to crack the code? And I'll use that term probably more than just once, but why did it all of a sudden dawn on you that you had to figure out a way to be able to make it more profitable?
Well, it was real simple, Joe. I looked at the financial statement and I knew what was going on. I wasn't making any real money. If it weren't for the fact that my wife worked, I'd have been bankrupt. And I realized, hey, it's time, because of my family, I need to make money doing this. Who knows what could happen with my wife, but I need to make good money. And I told my wife one day, either I'm going to start making good money in this business or I'm getting out. And fortunately, once I made that commitment, things began to change for me because I opened my mind up to learning and coaching and getting help myself, learning from different areas. And then things began to change and my business became profitable. Then it became highly profitable. Then it became fun. I enjoyed it.
Boy, oh boy, you bring up such a great word. You know, fun involves passion. If you're gonna do something, you want to really enjoy it. To take those elements like you talked about it, to get better and better, and all of a sudden it becomes fun. What was the fun part of it for you?
Well,
finally.
The fun part was I finally was able to treat my clients the way I wanted to because I wasn't always looking at dollars and cents.
Yeah.
I was able to go in and pay my staff what they deserved to make. I was able to pay my bills on time. I was able to take a vacation with my family, which are the most important people in the world to me, but were taking a backseat to my business previously.
When you share your experience with people, what is the reluctance of someone to listen to you, to listen to the way you do it, to listen to the teachings that you want to share? Do you find the pushback pretty strong, that people just don't want to change? They don't want to give up what they're doing, as hard as it is. Maybe as non-profitable to an extent where it could be as it is. They just don't want to give it up.
Well, that's part of it, Joe. They've always done it that way. I hear that. The other thing is a lot of them have the misconception that to be able to do it and make money, they have to give up something on the quality side or the way they treat their clients. That's absolutely not true. Some of them come from the school of, if I don't work hard, I don't deserve to make good money.
Right.
And to them, the definition of working hard is working with their hands.
Yep.
Okay? And that's not the business side. That's not the business side. But when I can take them to that next level and show them, one of the best things ever happened to me, Joe, was I had a client send me an email and thanking me, said, because of you, for the first time in 7 years, I've been able to take a vacation with my family. How awesome is that?
Oh, it's the greatest reward you can get. And it sounds like you've been able to take now and reach a point where a lot of us have in our lives where you take the teachings of the things that you have learned. Now it's your turn to share. Now it's your turn to give something back to the people that you respect so much. Anybody who's willing to, I mean, the repair industry is not an exclusive industry, and I'm sure there are people out there that if they happen to come onto the site and see us visiting and talking about it, you might say it isn't just the auto repair industry, even though that you've cracked the code, but there are other people out there that are looking for an answer to get out of that stated position that they're in. They can't find a way to get out of the rut. They know they want to work hard. They know they have to work hard, but you've come up with ways to help them get to a point where they can enjoy life as well. As you say, make it fun.
Well, absolutely. And so many people in this industry, and I was one of them, dreaded going to my business every day.
Really?
How awful is it? I literally dreaded it. Once I cracked the code, I enjoyed going into my business, and it showed. It showed with my clients. It showed with my staff. It made a huge difference in my life. It showed with my family. That's what was most important. Mm-hmm. You know, we all sometimes kind of forget that that's what's most important to us. Unfortunately, sometimes it's a little late.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I was blessed and I learned it early, and that was one of my big motivations. And that's what fuels my passion, is to be able to help other people all of a sudden be able to take a vacation with their family that they can now afford to do because their business is now making money even when they're not there.
Have you noticed a difference in your relationship with your family because of it?
Oh, absolutely. I had a teenage son tell me one time, you know, Dad, you've had several businesses and you're always busy, but you've never missed a family event. This came from a teenage son. We usually think they aren't paying attention.
Isn't that the truth?
But he was.
Yeah.
He was.
They really do.
That stuck in my craw a little bit, and I was very proud.
You should be. You should be very proud. Now, you have a moniker that you've sort of developed. What is it?
Well, actually, it was given to me.
Oh, really?
By some of my clients. They started calling me the been there, done that repair shop marketing guru because they know I can relate to them because I spent 18 years in the business and I did some of the hard grunt work that they do, and I understand what they deal with. Uh-huh. Okay? And so I don't just talk to them about the business side, but I know here's what you're going to encounter because of this, and here's how you get around it. So I can give them all of that insight because I've been there.
I still think it's hard for people sometimes, and they'll say to you, okay, you've been there, but you don't really know. You don't know my situation. What do you say to someone who says, okay, I understand you've been there, you've done it, we're in the same business, but you really don't know my situation? How do you get them to soften up a little bit and at least be willing to listen to what you have to say?
Well, because of the amount of time I spent in the business and the hundreds and thousands of repair shop owners I've worked with, I do know their situation, and I can show them how I know it, and I can recant exactly what happened to them, what they've dealt with in the past, and where they've been. And when I do it and I hit the mark, their antennas go up.
Do you see an increase or a decrease in the repair shops in this country?
There's absolutely a decrease. Again, because of the profitability and because of the complexity of vehicles today, repair shop owners can't be with their heads under the hood of cars today. Just the training alone, it takes up so much of their time. And if they want to go there, then they need to get someone to help them with the business side.
It's more technical than anything, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, some cars you open the hood and say, where's the engine?
Right. Exactly right.
Hey, wait a second, where'd you put the engine? I can't believe it.
It's technical, but it can't be technical for the owner. They have to be the owner of a business and not a technician anymore, or not just a technician anymore.
Perfect. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, tell them where they can find you.
They can go to my website, www.autorepaircoach.com, or they can call my office at 440-842-8938.
Who should they ask for?
They should ask for Lois, or they could ask for me, Dan. I try to be as accessible as I can to the repair shop owners out there.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Joe.
it so much, you bet.